When he came home, this is what it looked like.
Yeah, when he drove it home.
From California.
Doug and I actually went to school together in the 6th grade.
That's what it was right there.
We became friends then, and all through high school and for the rest of our lives, and we raced together, and actually built our first race car right here in this garage.
I got a call and pictures about this real 1968 Dana Camaro,
There's steel too.
owned by this lovely lady, Debbie.
My husband was Doug Taylor. February of '66, he enlisted in the Navy. Reported to San Diego. Turn the light on, Lee.
Okay. Can we open the door, Debbie, or not?
I'll open it. In August of '68, he was ordered to Da Nang, Vietnam. He worked on Mike 6 boats and did bulk fuel operations.
Is this where it sat from?
Yes, since the '70s, it's been here, and this is a heated garage. Finally, in July of 1969, he was transferred from Vietnam to Long Beach, back to Long Beach, California. While at Long Beach Naval Base, Doug bought the 1968 Dana Camaro on August 4th, 1969 at Dana Chevrolet, Southgate, California.
He brought it home from the service, called me up and says, "Hey, you got to see this."
This is Chuck. This is Doug. Doug is Debbie's husband that passed away several years ago. He bought the car from Dana Chevrolet in 1969.
I saw it was sitting in the driveway, and he was just smiling.
And when you saw it, what color was it?
Oh, it was candy tangerine, metal flake. It was 3 different colors of orange. Metal flake was really thick on it too.
And you saw this originally, so this.
Oh yeah, I mean, I raced it for him at Milan Beach.
When he brought that back from California, it was the metal flake. And at that time, Chuck said, you can talk to him, but he said that Dana was racing that car.
Dana was racing it? What was the story?
Yeah, it was like they had the Coco Camaros out there, and Dana had their drag car, and that was their drag car that he bought, is what he told me when he brought it home. But you can see how it spider webbed when it got pushed outside. One winter and it was really cold, the car was at about 70 degrees inside.
Friends down the road that had a heated garage where it had the water pumps and stuff in it for the area.
They had to get to the pumps to do something to one of the pumps, so they pushed the car outside, and when they did, the whole car just went all at once. Because the body contracted and the paint didn't contract at the same rate. Yeah, because this thing looked like it was just deep. I mean, you could look down into the paint.
So this is the scoops.
Mm-hmm.
Is this? Then of course that's functional. It's open.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Now that was on it there. That's Dana pinstriping for the car originally.
This here, it originally had the Kragers on it.
Do you have any idea where the Kragers might be?
Well, they might be over here.
No, I don't think so. No, it doesn't take up a big box.
Well, I tell you what. Go ahead and take the cover off so we can see the car.
Okay.
So it was all cracked. And that's when he took it over to Adrian, to his friend, and that's the red car right there. He had him strip all that off, and he had it repainted what it is now.
Let's see about. Let's look at what's under the hood.
Okay.
Now you might crack that door a little bit. Oh, it's good, Chuck.
Yeah.
It's got a 350 in it. What happened to that Dana 427?
Sold it to the guy that was going to run in the late model.
Well, if somebody knew where that engine was, that'd be nice. But now let's look on the inside, and whatever you can tell me about this, Chuck, would be helpful because you were in it many times, right? You raced this car.
Yep, we raced it at Milan there.
And what did it run in a quarter?
Jeez, I don't remember. He's probably still got the time slip somewhere from it.
You have the time slips?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I have them.
So what do we got here?
These are the original.
These original. Yep.
Side, and then over here, you just have what, a racing seat?
I've got racing seats.
Now you got a different wheel on it, and it looks like the stock wheel's back here.
Back there, yep. That's all the interior parts for it.
So he was going to restore it, or what was up?
Well, after the paint all cracked, he had to repaint it. So
So why did he take the
Strip it.
interior out?
No.
Well, knowing Doug, he had to repaint the floor pan and everything else.
Oh,
And as you can see, there's no sound deadening or anything in the car. There's nothing on the underneath here. They usually spray all the cars with it. This is one of the reasons why he probably didn't get it fixed. We started building race cars for ourselves. Doug's right there, and me. Here's one with a shot of the back of the Camaro.
okay. All right. See,
That's what we were building there, yeah.
now that's you in the driver's seat?
Yep,
Okay, sure.
yeah.
I'm looking for some of the Camaro. You
No.
didn't take the Camaro to the drag strip?
We did, but I don't think we took any pictures. We progressed to super late models. The Camaro,
It was a Camaro.
yeah.
Okay.
Another Camaro.
And then
There's a picture of Doug right there.
right here.
Yep.
Just that Doug was a person. He test drove. He worked at Chrysler, TRW, Kelsey Hayes. That's for the front. This here's for the back.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Still wearing the old California tags with the 1969 sticker.
So what's the plans for the car now?
Well, I want to sell it.
Tell us, how you found me.
My brother.
Lee,
He watches your YouTube. You could tell it. about
Yeah,
it.
I watch your shows and I made a comment, oh, my brother-in-law has a Dana Camaro. And you got right back to me and said, oh, we need to talk about this. So we conversed over the phone and this is what it led up to this point, Jerry. And, I'm glad I did because it's more than a car to you. It's history and a story. And
so I was here to help these people figure out what the car's worth and if it was real, if it documented. And I didn't know either. But I got lucky. I was at the GM Nationals just a few days before, the weekend before, and I was holding a barn find seminar. And I went hunting Camaro experts. And I found just what I was looking for inside the Solid Lifter showroom, Building Y, on the fairgrounds of Carlisle Events, where I met Joe Swezey and Brian Henderson, owners of Supercar Work Shop.
Tell me what you're seeing as you look at those original
Well,
pictures.
just real quickly here, I could see, no black taillight panel, so it most likely started as a small block like an SS350, which is pretty common for the Dana cars that we've been around. They are all 350 cars originally.
But Dana put 427s in them.
Right, yeah, they would put a 427 in them, but they started with the cheaper car. So the one we restored started out as an air-conditioned automatic rally sport. So and they scrapped all that stuff and actually put 4-speed into it.
Are you from California?
No, from Lake Trobe, Pennsylvania, near Pittsburgh.
Oh,
We do a lot of Yanko cars and so forth because that's our kind of in our neighborhood. But we've done a lot of ZL1s and the Dana cars and the Dick Harrell cars, stuff like that. In Southgate, California, that's home base. The car was a pretty expensive car by the looks of things here. It's hard to read it, but it looks like well over $4,000. Well, this car was an air car too. Look at that. This is like the same blueprint as the one we restored. That's the AC blocks, which they couldn't utilize with the big block engine. Yeah. So they just eliminated it. And I wouldn't be shocked if this thing wasn't automatic, just like the other one we did. And there's part of the trim tag. It's too tough to read there.
I can send that to you Monday.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, this looks to me like a carbon copy of the Rally Green one we did. We know quite a bit about them. It was pretty interesting too because the one we did was an automatic car to start with. They changed it to a 4-speed, and when we took things apart, it still had like masking tape part numbers on like linkages and stuff like that from Dana. Because it was just dealer stock and they bolted it on. It still had like manila tape and part number stuff from the day.
You're looking at the paperwork. What does that tell you? Just go over that.
That says 68 Camaro. Got California over here, sports coupe.
I'm covering up this document so that nobody copies original paperwork.
There's the VIN. There's a Los Angeles car, so it was built out there. Well, there's interesting. Beach Naval Base in Beach, California. So
That's where
must
he
have been a
lives.
serviceman or something.
He was a serviceman. He came back from Vietnam.
In the early 70s, Debbie's husband Doug sold the 427 and installed a 350.
This has got a 350 in it.
Wouldn't matter that much because in '68 it would have been a CE block for that car anyway. Would have been a date. You would find a date appropriate '68 motor, and then it would be most likely correct.
Did you have an idea what this car would be worth without the original engine? And
I don't think the original engine's an issue. I think the main factors is the Dana 427 conversion.
we have an honest person here, not somebody trying to devalue the car because that original engine is gone.
In my opinion, if the car is as good as we think it is, and it's bulletproof paperwork, it's in its state it is now, it's probably $150,000, $200,000 car.
Joe knew. I guess he didn't expect Brian to spill the beans that quick. I didn't either. So, do you have an idea what this car's worth?
No,
None?
no.
I was about to tell Debbie because I wanted her to know this is an extremely valuable car, just the way it sits.
I wanted to make sure Debbie didn't get trigger happy and sell it for like 30 grand or something like that. Way less than it's worth. What if somebody came up and said 50,000? Would
No.
that, you don't know?
No, probably not.
Let
I'm
me-
waiting for you to get all this information.
Well, I've got I think this is a Dana Camaro.
I
don't-
know it is.
Yeah.
I got the papers.
Well, let me just tell you, I think that conservatively, this car, the way it sits, without you even touching it, I think you can easily get $150,000. Now, what do you think of that?
You want to sit down?
No, I think it sounds good, but should we wait till everybody gets all the information, or?
Maybe more. I'm not saying accept it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's the ballpark figure.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Maybe 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it might be closer to 200.
Yeah.
What are you thinking now?
I don't want to have to ship it anywhere. And whoever wants it, I want them to come here and take it. Just take it. I don't want to ship it.
And she wouldn't have to. I remember what Brian told me back at the GM Nationals in Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
It's a valuable car, so and it's obviously a big restoration. We surely have a pipeline of people that are interested in those kind of cars. That's not even a problem.
So, Brian and Joe would get a restoration for their Supercar Work Shop. One of their customers could buy this old Camaro and get in on all the excitement of this dream find.
This is one color.
And Debbie gets a fair price for her car. In Jerry's world, 6 weeks later, Brian and Joe arrive with a buyer. Hey man, good to see you.
Same here.
But whether or not the buyer buys depends on what Brian finds out.
Nice to meet you.
Glad to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Brian.
Glad to meet you, Brian.
My partner Joe.
Hi, I'm Brian.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Brian.
Brian.
None of
None of
it's
us
a rental car. Hi, I'm Joe.
How you doing?
Oh, yep.
Hi, Joe. Yeah, don't trip on that.
Joe.
Don't blame me, that's all.
Nice to meet you.
don't need that.
No, we don't need that.
This is only the second one of these I've seen.
No kidding.
Yeah.
This is what it looked like when this is not a very good picture, but that's all I could find so far. When
Okay.
he brought it back from California.
You can see on this hood here where they had
The wire mesh.
the wire mesh. See that these little diamond? That's the wire mesh that would have been in this hood on the front and the back. And you can see like the pattern. See these little diamond marks?
Oh yeah.
That's how that was an extruded metal, and it was diamond hatch
We actually, an old hardware store.
in our town.
Art Deco old,
Hard
and a
to-
piece of cardboard for an old screen door.
It's from the 50s. I
From the
guarantee it.
50s, it's aluminum that matched it perfect.
Okay.
That's fascinating.
Got some of that.
It really is. That's the first time I've seen the script that is hooked together like this. Normally they're single letters and more of a stand-up letter. This is amazing to me.
See, he said this is the color of that.
Yeah, the other pictures it looks really orangey. 427 in it when he got it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the sad part. That he
This here,
didn't realize
this
it.
here was a different color of champagne or wherever
Oh, yeah,
they
you can
called
see
it.
that.
Yeah.
It's a different color that was painted into that top.
Oh, wow.
You just can't from this angle see it as well.
See, it looks completely different
Yeah.
colors there.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like
Well, that was
almost
taken
like
off
a,
a slide.
yeah.
See, that's the moldy slide.
Yeah, it's almost a traditional Hudger orange in this color. I mean, the M&A Trace Masters on the back, just like I kind of predicted. Yeah, they had some kind of wacky pinstripe on the back there too. You
Yep.
can see they had some fancy pinstriping,
They've
and
got some on the hood there too, at the very nose.
yeah, I saw that on the nose too. That was pretty neat. These are the originals. Do you mind if I pull this out?
No, it's kind of greasy.
So what's this?
Set these on, or it's all right.
Yeah, that's definitely original upholstery.
Oh yeah, the whole car is.
I mean, you can tell.
So it only had 10,000 miles on it.
A couple cracks in her, but there she was, original walnut wheel. I was trying to see, the trunk floor's pretty banged up in here for some reason. I don't know what he did back here, but there's like,
But he didn't do
there's a
it.
patch here.
Yeah, he didn't do it because they had to do it at Dana. Oh, that's for me.
Well,
Because we never worked on this car here.
you see that? And this patch here, this is all fiberglass. You can see the original ribbing in here. It's got the original sheet metal on the quarters. You can see these dates over here. They didn't bend anything up in here. Somebody added the spoiler.
Oh, so you can tell this spoiler was added in the
Oh,
factory?
yeah.
How do you
Well,
show that?
one of the easiest ways to tell, Jerry, is if you look at these rods, when they're both the exact same size, like these are, it didn't have a spoiler. If you have one rod that's heavier than the other, then it's factory spoiler. So these are both the same size, so we know it didn't have a spoiler when it was new. Of course, according to the original photos, it didn't have a spoiler either. A lot of people love to add these.
Maybe Dana added it, or?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Because none of those early pictures have it on, so he might have added it later down the road.
what are you looking for here?
See if the floors up here are solid, which they appear to be. You can see the original, some of the original overspray in here. You can see the car was teal. It was a teal blue. You can see the blue in here.
We checked the trim tag on the cowl, and sure enough, paint code L corresponds to teal blue poly.
So he had Dana paint the car then?
I think they'd already painted it.
It was
He
already
in the
painted?
paint-
Brian, you want something for your knee there? You want something?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What we got there?
This is the rear door panel. Here, Joe. This is a window fuzzy, but it's a reproduction.
Those are,
Oh, that's the race seats or whatever?
yeah, that's one, and then the other one.
Figured I'd look in that box before I start stacking stuff.
Yeah, 'cause this stuff's really nice shape. This is really exceptionally nice shape. So that's the original. That's the original door panel. No, look how nice those are yet. Okay, these would be dated on the back here somewhere. 7/31 of 67.
The exact date of this issue of Time magazine.
As the manufacturer and the part number. It's a filler panel. It's a fender extension. It's a front fender. This is some bracket for, I believe, for the, might be for the seat. Now, what's exceptionally nice about this is these are bare steel, these springs, and you can still see how nice they are. You know, they're not rusty. You can tell that it's been taken decent care of. It's a fold down rear seat.
Yeah. Oh, is it really?
Yeah, check it out.
I didn't know Camaro had that.
Yes, it's a seldom seen option, but they have. Well, this is part of the fold down rear seat, so when you drop the seat down, this was like a carpeted area. You could put your whatever boxes, luggage boxes. I've only seen a handful of Camaros with a fold down. These are really nice shape yet, and usually these are split. These armrest bases, and these are pretty good shape yet. This is the original rug. That is
Pristine.
This is the factory console. The oil pressure gauge is still hooked up. So unless she has a little wrench, won't be able to take it out.
They have a little wrench. He needs a little wrench.
Yeah, a small, like 3/8. It's got a Hurst shifter in it, which is not by Chevrolet. That could have been added by Dana, as far as we know. Obviously, it had Krager's. There's a little doubt about that.
He's wondering about the shifter. Was that the shifter that came in at that Hurst?
Yes.
The Muncies nobody liked.
No.
Yeah, they were troublesome.
From the start.
What's that?
I don't know what this is, but He might need it.
She has something, she doesn't know what it is, but you might need it.
I'm sure.
So did you get it loose?
Oh yeah. Sounds like there's something in the glove box itself. Here's some neat stuff.
Oh wow, what do we find?
Oh, there's all kind of stuff. We'll have to look through it.
Look, Milan Dragway. Retain this coupon. He did.
That's where he raced it at, Milan.
Are these time slips?
Oh, yeah, they are. ET 1295, 108 mile an hour. Well, that's cool.
Hey Chuck, we might have found your old time slips.
Yeah, we did.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah,
Now we know how fast it went.
Yeah, 103, I think, or something like that.
That was a 12:15. This was a 12:26 or 27 at 116.84. 12:30. 12:93. I'll be dark.
Did you see the slips?
I did
the
not.
Time slips?
Yeah, I was gonna...
Show him the time slips.
Oh,
And he raced it. That Chuck raced it
Doug
that
did.
day.
Doug raced this one, didn't you?
No,
You
he
did.
had me driving it.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the few that they've never cut the tunnel in. 90% of the time when you find one of these super Camaros, they cut the shifter tunnel out real big, for different shifters and ramrods and such. It's very rare that you see one that hasn't. Well, that's factory, so it's and you can tell this is a factory console car, no doubt about it, because of these inserts here, and these two holes up here.
Right.
There's the little piece of the wiring harness tag right there, the original wiring harness tag. And you can see that how the factory cut the carpet too, because this is the original rugs, and they split the rugs on this console car. In fact, I can get it out of here in a second. You can see where they cut them right down the middle. They used two pieces when they put it back together. That's how they did it. And that's the original rugs. And sometimes you can see some tags on there. I don't see any tags right yet, but it could very well be there. This car has exceptional upholstery from what I can see so far. So that's a really good thing. Hand me my flashlight, which I think I just put.
No, we don't need that.
Well, I wanted to highlight something. Okay. It's underneath the rug, I think. Let's see. All right, here we go.
Mine's an H36. It's way down here on this one. Right here, right in the middle.
Oh yeah, there it is. Right there, H37, which is 37th week. And Joe's is, what do you say?
36.
36, so there's 1 week apart between the dates of the door. And there again, you can see that the original teal color here, that was the color the car was delivered to, in this color here. And then when Dana changed the color, which is interesting to me that they changed the color. But yeah, these are date codes back here as well.
What's that say?
Let me see what the best of my.
This looks like a 36 back here, maybe. I think it's upside down.
Yeah, I think this is 37. It's a 37, which is this door's a 37.
This is a 36.
The original quarters for the car. This would be his original sway bar here. Why he has it off the car, I'm not sure, but it's an 11/16 bar. The bigger bar, the Copo bar, the Yanko sports car bar or whatever, was 13/16. And a Yanko in 68 has a special bar. It was 1 1/16. So these are standard bar that I would expect to see with the car. So that's right on.
What are those called?
Drain plugs, we call them drain plug covers. They're just in with seam sealer, and they just push them down in there. And they're dated as well. And this one appears to be possibly a 35. Looks like the 5 stamped backwards, but that's typical.
35th week.
Yeah. Yep. She did have some paperwork, right? There was some paperwork.
Yes.
That's what I asked you to get. Yeah. That's pretty bulletproof stuff too. If you do an NCRS search, it will tell us what day the car was built.
So, Debbie sent in her VIN, seen here. The production date, September 22nd, 1967.
and where it was destined for.
The original delivery dealer was dealer code 144, Zone 20. Name and location for that dealer? Dana Chevrolet, Southgate, California.
What was the date on that? 8/69.
As Debbie rolled out the paperwork, we rolled the car out of the garage into the sunlight. There was no doubt in anybody's mind this was a real Dana Camaro. The new owner would now delve into what happened before Doug bought it in August of 1969. Was this a Dana race car? Did Dana paint it that metal flake orange and put it on the drag strip? What about the 427? Did it survive? Could we find it? Right, Chuck?
Yeah.
456 gears, and what did he say? Tell him what he said.
Had to stop a lot, and it didn't get
Never
very
passed
good.
the gas station.
Yeah, did not pass the gas station, and he had to drive slow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've heard a lot of guys that bought cars like that had 56s or 88 military guys, that's kind of a common theme when you hear, we had to stop for gas every time we saw a station. The thing was probably only getting about 5 miles a gallon.
and tell him about the tape he was listening to, Debbie.
Oh, he had a eight track, isn't that what it was? And all he had was Three Dog Night's first tape, which was called One. You probably don't even remember it. And he listened to that all the way home. I don't know if it drove him nuts or, that's all he had, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess if he just got out of Vietnam, he could probably tolerate Three Dog Night.
Yeah, I would imagine that's
Yeah.
pretty easy compared to the other things.
Yeah.